Hello and welcome to another edition of Medusa's Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Greg. Today we're going to make my special key lime pie. It's a little bit different than the normal recipes, but it's very close. First we're going to start out with a crust because we got to get that in the oven and pre-bake it. As you know, I like my pies to be thick. When I make chocolate cream, lemon meringue, apples, cheesecakes, I like a thick piece of pastry. I just think it looks great on the plate. It's tall, and when it comes for dessert, usually two people split it. So anyways, I'm going to start with my crust for my key lime pie. And what I've got in my Cuisinart is I've got 8 ounces of white chocolate covered pretzels and 1 ounce of butter, and I'm going to puree that until it's a nice fine crumb. The white chocolate kind of takes the place of the butter if you were making a graham cracker shell because of all the fat that's in the chocolate. But it adds a nice sweetness. You don't have to use brown sugar like you would a graham cracker crust. All you need to do is just grind these white chocolate covered pretzels with a little bit of butter. And what you get is this lovely white pretzel crust. White pretzel crust. Wow, how did I reverse that one? Anyways, I get pretty much most of it divided evenly, and then I come in with a 1 cup measure. It's got a flat side, and I press this into place. And we put that in the oven to bake for about 12 to 15 minutes. And I've got one already pressed. As you can see, this is the white chocolate crust. I got a 1/2 inch border. That was 10 ounces of white chocolate pretzels and 1 ounce of butter blended. If you don't have the white chocolate pretzels, you could use graham cracker, but that's going to be a different recipe. You know, for every 5 ounces of graham crackers, which is a packet, you need about 2 ounces of butter and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and then maybe a touch of cinnamon. So that would be the option if you didn't do the white chocolate pretzels. But we have them. Here they are. I'm going to set those here. This is nice and cool now. The crust is all set. Now the recipe for the key lime pie is very easy. You know, it's only 4 ingredients, but how you mix it and what you do with it afterwards is very important. So what I have here is I've got 3 cans of sweetened condensed milk, because normally a pie would take 2 cans, but like I've told you before, I like my desserts to have a little height. So I got 3 cans. I got a 1.5 cups of Greek yogurt that's been, strained so all the juice is out of it. I've got a 1.5 tablespoons of lime zest that I grated right before the show, so I didn't have to take all the time to do this for you. As you can see, I've got the grater right here, and I squeeze the limes with my little lime squeezer. And I've got 12 ounces of lime juice, fresh, not bottled. And we're going to mix that. And what's going to happen is that lime juice is going to help coagulate this filling as well as the Greek yogurt. And you want to mix this until there are no more lumps. And as you mix that lime juice in, you'll notice that that sweetened condensed milk is starting to set up already. Now, I've made this with coconut sweetened condensed milk, and it works just as good. It's a nice option to make a coconut lime cream key, you know, like a key lime pie, but with coconut. So if you have a dairy issue, try the coconut sweetened condensed milk with this recipe with the white chocolate pretzels. And you know, you can use a really fine quality Belgian white chocolate, and you can use gluten-free pretzels. Just make sure you use about 10 ounces total. Probably, you know, you want to go 8 to 9 ounces of pretzels and 2 to 3 ounces of white chocolate. Okay, so now I've got the zest, the lime juice, the sweetened condensed milk, and the Greek yogurt. 3 cans of sweetened condensed, cup and a half of Greek yogurt, tablespoon and a half of lime zest, and 9 ounces of lime juice. We're going to pour that in to my mold, my pre-made crust. And as I get to the end, I'm going to pour really slowly because I want this to mound up in the middle to give us some height. Now you can see how that's sitting in there nicely. Okay, now this is going to go into a 350 degree oven for 6 to 10 minutes. And what we want is we want this jiggle to go away. We want it to set up nice and firm, so when we cut it, it's just going to be gorgeous. It's going to be standing up straight. We're going to have a nice dollop of whipped cream, a little mint leaf, and a lime wheel. It's going to look beautiful. So we're going to get this in a 350 degree oven. We're going to go about 7 to 10 minutes. We really don't want any color on this. All we want to do is we want to get that filling to set. So that's it. I mean, that's key lime pie. Now, of course, we have to whip cream, and we have to, you know, garnish it and make it look good and do a presentation with it. But as far as making it, the longest amount of time it takes is to squeeze the limes. Now, I used, I think it was 14 limes for 9 ounces of lime juice. And I also let the limes sit out overnight. That way they kind of relaxed. They get a lot more soft, and they're way easier to juice when they're warm than when they are cold. Now, I've been having some issues with my hands with arthritis, so I find that when I can take it easy on my hands, I do. And so make sure you get your limes room temperature at least a day. Much easier to squeeze. For, you know, a pie like this, you're going to need at least 12.5 limes, because you're going to need the juice from at least 14 to 16 of them, and then you're going to need some limes for garnishing and so forth. Also, one thing you need to remember is when you, before you juice your limes, make your zest, because it's a lot easier to zest a whole lime than it is these cut halves. I've made that mistake before, where, you know, I started making the pies, and then all of a sudden, oh gosh, I didn't do my zest. Really a pain in the butt. So remember that. And when this key lime comes out of the oven, we'll take a look at it and we'll go. Here we go. It's been in the oven. It was 8 minutes. And as you can see, it's jiggling, but it's set. And we're going to refrigerate this for at least 4 hours, and then we'll finish it with the garnishes of whipped cream and lemon or lime slices. So, all right, we're back. I baked the key lime for 8 minutes, 350. It's set, and it's been cooling now for about 3 hours. It's ready to slice. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put 8 little dollops of whipped cream around the sides. It's always nice to make your desserts look homey. That's why I'm not using a pastry bag, so everybody can do it. I like that homey style looking desserts. And you know, like I've mentioned before, I like my desserts to stand up tall. And I have 8 slices of lime here. We got a 9-inch pan. It's full to the brim. Doesn't that look nice? See that? That's key lime pie made with Greek yogurt and a white chocolate pretzel crust. You got to make sure you get through that crust before you try to pull that piece out. So it might take a couple swipes just to get down there. All right, and let's see how she fares. Looks pretty good. You got a little bit of crumb in there left over. But the pie is standing firm. And as you can see, pie is standing nice and firm. It's not soupy. It was baked enough. And if you want, you can add a little whipped cream to those crumbs. And that's the key lime pie. So, I hope you try this recipe. Thanks for joining me on Medusa's Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Greg. We'll see you next time with another tasty dessert. Ciao, ciao.